up, my loves? It's your girl Diamond, and I'm back with my only review of Put a Ring on It. Like I said, I'm going to be reviewing this show. I've missed this show. I literally thought about it not too long ago, and then I see the trailer for this new season, and this new season got an interesting twist, okay? Like, the twist is, when they would air the Put a Ring on It shows, you have the ability of dating pretty much random people to see if you can form another connection with somebody other than your original partner and see if that's something different, that's something new, or you want to figure things out with your original partner. This time, they're going to give them the opportunity to see if the person that they cheated on their partner with could be the one that they should be with. So that's what we're seeing right now from the first episode. Each of these couples have the opportunity to meet up with someone that they messed around with. And I feel like almost everybody that is on this show have messed around at some point. But the three men on this show have definitely crossed that line and physically got involved with another person. They definitely had sex with women they cheated on their partners with. While the rest of these ladies, I think besides Mimi, only had emotional affairs, right? So based off of what I can detect from the first episode, Mia and Jaren, you are some fuck shit, okay? Because you really don't like the fact that Mia keeps constantly questioning you about what you're doing and if you're talking to somebody, because she went through that with you before. You did in fact cheat on her, and ever since you cheated on her, she's been wondering if you're still in that same type of time. So yes, putting you on an app to track you, wondering what you're doing. Yeah, you got off it, but you're still doing the same shit. We got Travis and Dominique. Travis, you are a man of like huge charm. You're charismatic, but all you do is just talk. And I feel like you're trying to be mindful of how you're talking to present yourself a certain way on this show, while you're trying to act differently, when I know for a fact you and Robin, y'all got something else going on. You just don't want it to be shown on the show, or as far as your part being shown on the show. And Josh, your mega mind having ass can get the fuck away from me. You and this shit with Jessica got on my fucking nerves, okay? Because when Jessica walked into that house, she was disrespectful as shit. And Josh just looked at her like, oh, I don't know. Like, why did you do that? It's just like, nigga, what? Like, you made it seem as if that Jessica still carries a high authority, as if she's the main girl in your life. And Josh, you're just accepting it, okay? Because that's where we ended off the first episode. Josh was the last one to go out on a date with an ex. Mimi wasn't sure who that ex was. And then when Jessica walked into the door, she said, where my man at? Yeah, where my man at? And then she revealed T that her and Josh just messed around with one another not too long ago. And the history behind that is Jessica was with Josh when he cheated on her with Mimi. And then him being with Mimi, he ended up cheating on her with Jessica. I said, what the fuck is going on here? And then, Mimi, she was going all over the place wondering, who do I trust? Who do I believe? She said this is the second time another woman has come up to her and told her that they just had her man. Girl, then Mimi, she already been through this process before. She was on the first season of Put a Ring on with another man. And here she is almost several years later, and she's back to the same old ways. It's like, Mimi, what have you learned? Why are you back here with the same problems? You know what I'm saying? And you know what, Josh, he didn't have a lot to say. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like he didn't want to say nothing because I think he knew what Jessica saying was the truth. So Mimi go upstairs. You got Mia and Dominique following behind her. And, they was telling her, girl, did you not hear him? Did you not hear what he told her? Because in the car, Jessica and Josh was in the car. Josh tells us that he's been rocking with Jessica since 2016. They got a whole history. He said that Jessica was the crazy one. Like, she came with a lot of emotions and a whole lot of expectations that he couldn't deal with. So he had to get away from all of that. Then when he got with Mimi, he felt like that was cool. But then he did admit they did mess around last year in Detroit. But he feels like once I did what I wanted to do, I left her and that was it. But he does call her his comfort. And then he pretty much makes her out to be the one that he always goes to when he wants love, affection, support. So to me, it's almost like, why is it that you're trying to paint her out to be the one you don't know, you can't get away from, but yet she's your comfort? Like, she is pretty much the one you call on to not do what you're not trying to fix in your relationship. She pretty much makes things easier for you. So he just keeps on telling her, why you gotta do all that? Why was you so disrespectful? And she was like, listen, you cheated on me with her. Do I seem like the type of person that would care about why I'm coming to get you when you cheat with me on her? Like, what the hell? So Jessica's pretty much on the same type of time. Why should I care about how I hurt her feelings when she didn't care how she hurt mine? Well, newsflash, Jessica, she had no idea you was in the picture, because whatever Josh didn't tell her, or whatever he alluded to believe that you and him were not together, she believed that, right? She believed a lot of what Josh did not mean, did not say, never corrected. You know what I'm saying? And Josh, he is such a player. Okay, he always leaves things in a gray area, but not so much as where he has to make a decision, because he honestly cannot handle it. He is in the hot seat. He cannot handle it. He is the one that is causing all this problem. He wants to keep things stagnant. You know what I'm saying? Keep you and her at a good place where I ain't got to worry about y'all conflicting and making it hard for me to keep my fun here, my also fun here. You know what I'm saying? And Jessica, I don't know what it is about this man. Like, does he like? Why do you love him so much? Like, is he packing it like that? Does he got a big beefcake or something? Like, what is going on here? It ain't his looks. I don't think it's the looks. Okay. Does he got money? Is that what it is? Because she's all about, that's my man. He's so funny. I love him and he love me. And yes, I do care about the fact that he is with other women, but that's not going to stop me from getting my man back. Girl, I guess. You know, Mimi's upstairs. She's spiraling, right? She's pretty much saying, I'm over this experience, and if it wasn't for this experience, I wouldn't be here. And then you got the other girls trying to lift her and says, girl, don't worry about that. You're going to figure it out, stick it out, and make your own decision once you see everything. So now Mimi's on demon time, as she should be, to turn it around in her favor. So Jessica and Josh's date was at a spa, and he did not expect for Jessica to prepare for such a nice evening. And she said, I know you like being pampered, so this is what I got for you. Like, there was rose petals, there was champagne, bowls of fruit. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, they are close in the hot tub, like legs over crossing each other. He's rubbing her arm and everything. She's rubbing his chest. And they both are talking about how Mimi never really thought about things like this. And she is just in heaven right now. And the fact that he has told her that he hasn't been happy with Mimi, and happy that she planned this day, but then he's saying, I'm such in a tough position because I have a heart for Mimi. I don't know what to do. But you know what, Josh, you're not new to this type of ordeal with Jessica, because the way you just came in and was so casual, so comfortable with her, because y'all just fucked around last year. So I doubt that you don't know how she feels. I doubt that you have not touched her in such a long time that you don't know how she feels. You don't know how she makes you feel. Like, you can miss me with that shit. And Josh likes to play games, and he always had to come up with rules on the fly that doesn't get him caught up in something he's not supposed to be doing, okay? Because then we get into the timeline of when Jessica and him were together, but he makes it seem that they wasn't official, and that he was still trying to figure things out with Mimi, or he wasn't with Mimi yet. It's all a bunch of, like, confusion all over the place. Because the way that he doesn't want to admit that he was definitely going back and forth with two women, but did not want to put a title on neither one of them, because, let Josh tell it, he don't count the whole 3 years of the relationship with Mimi. No, just the year that they lived together. The 2 years don't count. I was like, boy, okay. So it's now nighttime, okay, and he's been gone, I would say, since the afternoon, and now it's like maybe 9-10 o'clock, and he walked in with shorts in his hand. Mimi is pissed, okay, because you announcing yourself. They're all like, hey, Josh, how was your day? And she asked him, how was your day? He said it was boring. Boy, we got you on camera. You didn't have a boring day. You had a really good day. All right? And then Mimi is like, I mean, do you not want to discuss what just took place before you went out on a date? Like, she just came in here, told me she was just with you not long ago. And you know this is the second time a woman has done that to me. So what do you have to say for yourself? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, he ain't trying to say nothing. He ain't trying to reveal nothing. He want to act like he don't even know what she said. He just want to keep them separated. And I'm just like, okay, Josh. And Mimi, you know for a fact that he's lying, right? And then he wants to be in the confessional with Mimi, trying to act like, I don't know what Jessica was thinking, but what she said was a whole bunch of lie. It was all fabricated. I'm like, nigga, please. You just said last year you messed around with her in Detroit. Now you went to, you haven't seen her in a long time. Boy, okay. So now we get to the date, right? And he's just saying how they just had a simple conversation, catching up on old times, and Mimi is noticing while you're saying you had such a good time just chatting it up, why do you have wet swim trunks? Why are you here wet? What happened with the date? And he's just like, I mean, I got wet. I don't know. And that makes me frustrated because you act like we did not see you sit in that hot tub, enjoying each other's company, being all lovey-dovey with the rose petals, and you want to come in and act like you don't know how you got swim trunks? Really? You had a whole spa day with her. Oh, okay. And Dominique is witnessing the way that Josh gets confronted. He says the craziest things out of nowhere because he wants to create a funny moment, but this isn't a funny moment. This is serious. Like, why aren't you telling the truth? So he's terrified to admit what actually took place because he believes if he tells the truth, they're not going to be together anymore. You don't want to figure out how, what? This is why she can't trust you. And now you want to gaslight her and make it seem as if she is out of pocket or she's confused with asking you questions as to why you came home with wet swim trunks. As if you did not do anything that required for you to get into some type of water. And what is it you were doing? So he wants to pretty much, calm her down and then say I'm sorry, but yet don't know what he's apologizing for because he doesn't want to admit what he did. So now he's just trying to keep the peace and let that be that. I'm just like, get the fuck out of here, Josh. Like, you really love changing the rules, changing circumstances to fit your narrative, and I don't have time. So now it's the next morning, right? Dr. Stacy pops up so we can discuss the men and their dates, right? And, of course, throughout the discussion, the goal is radical honesty. And I tell y'all, Josh is shaking in his fucking boots because he doesn't want to admit what really took place with Jessica. So we get to Travis, who had a date with Robin, who he met when he was on a guy trip to Vegas, and he wanted to know how was the date. What did y'all talk about? What attracted you to her? He just said she's attractive. Okay, so what was she trying to figure out? She was trying to figure out if the situation could see if the door was still open, right? So what did you guys talk about? He said honesty, how to be yourself unconditionally in a relationship and how me and her develop a deep connection. So Dr. Stacy is pretty much saying, so she wasn't someone that you just met. You guys had a deep connection, right? Right. So she wasn't just someone that you was with sexually. That's my question. Because it seems to me you're trying to add there was more stimulating conversations with her. Because I just feel like you and Robin got insane sexual chemistry and y'all want to bone so bad. And I believe y'all have boned already. Because I feel like you want to see if she's more than a fun time and you want to keep that fun time around. Dominique felt embarrassed that he revealed to the group that he has had deep conversations with this girl. And when it comes to Dominique, she wants to know, why do you feel like you don't trust him? And Dominique feels like I can't trust him when he's not around me and he doesn't talk to me, because going off about his work schedule, he could work up to about 15 hours and she don't hear nothing from him, which is cool, right? But then probably there are days where he doesn't work that much, she still doesn't hear from him. Then she's talking about how he's disappeared for days at a time, and then before they even came here, he disappeared for 2 whole days and didn't speak to her. Excuse me? Because, wait, knowing his work schedule, he can't be on the phone as much, right? Okay, got that. But there got to be times when he is at home chilling. He can't call you and FaceTime you and y'all just chill and talk on the phone, and he disappears for days at a time. I ain't got time for no games like that. What the fuck you mean you disappeared for 2 days at a time? Where the hell was you at? Then she says, when he's with me, he's so attentive to me. But when we're together, I can't get a hold of you. Yeah, that's something that I don't like. What's wrong with a conversation? What's wrong with being consistent? Pick up the phone when I call you. So Dr. Stacy said, what I'm hearing is unmanaged needs. You got to give her that needs, and you disappearing on her is not acceptable. And it's not. He says that it could be a pain of me having a fear of losing her. But why would you treat her like as if you don't want to talk to her? Why would you treat her as if she isn't someone you want to be around if you disappear for days at a time and don't talk to her? The hell? And then Dr. Stacy said, listen, if you're going to treat her like this, then go date Robin. And I'm with Dr. Stacy. Then we get Jaron and his date with Gia. And they shared a lot in common. She's a go-with-the-flow type person. They had a picnic. She was trying to be physical, trying to hold his hand and be close to him, and he said no. Mia, she said, I felt good hearing that. I needed to get to that understanding that, you know, he was trying to be respectful. He was trying not to jump in to being physical with her. And also, when they had their interaction at the front door, she definitely was reading Gia down with how she looked, how tall she was, and just felt like the physicality of who she, you know, showed herself to be. Mia didn't feel no competition. You know, she talked about, you know, she was this tall of a girl, and I guess it was something that I really did not feel threatened by. Now, Dr. Stacy's listening. So you saying that her physicality validated you and you believe you are the better option. I'm telling you, that's a false sense of peace. Have that thought process that you believe that there's no other woman that can carry a candle to you and your physical attributes and what you believe his type is. But I don't want you to always think that, okay? Because don't believe that there isn't any other beautiful lady in the world that could be like you, be sweet as you, that can still turn this man's head, okay? And you got to keep in mind, men will fuck anything. We have come to that conclusion. So the fact that you think that this one woman was not his type, don't think that there weren't any other women that could have been his type. Because it makes you wonder, what happened to the woman that he met at the bar and fucked? How did she look? Like, how did she represent herself that made him want to be all in on her? Because Jaron strikes me as the type of man who gets off on women finding him attractive, but I don't know if he reflects that same thing. I don't know how he behaves when he finds another woman attractive. Because I think he believes he's the prize and that women are supposed to just fall for him, okay? So we get to Josh and his date with Jessica. You know, Jessica walking in, being disrespectful, brushing past Mia, saying, where my man at, where my man at? And of course, you know, Josh saying he did not hear that. And as far as like, so what's up with you and Jessica? Like, when did you last see her? He said last year in Detroit. And when it came down to being with her in Detroit, did you tell her you were done with her and you were getting back together with Mimi? He said no. Mimi, once again, learning about new information from a man you would think would tell her everything to not embarrass her in front of the group, but he did it again. Turns out he never really ended things with Jessica. He just blocked her. I swear, what the? Okay. So he wants to use his misogynistic mindset. And, you know, he wants to use this misogynistic way of saying how women are more emotional. So he figured if he never told her anything, then it would have just been that's it, that's all. Being emotional ain't got nothing to do with that. You did not want to have that hard conversation with telling Jessica, that's it, that's all. We're not doing this no more. I'm going to go back to my old relationship. This was a one-time thing. You just did not want to be honest in your relationship. You didn't want to. Blocking her did not take away how you acted in that situation. You just want to absolve yourself from responsibility. So, the date, what happened? Now he mentions it was a hot tub date. That was inside the tub. Again, Mimi did not hear what happened on that date because he didn't want to tell her what happened on the date. How they were popping champagne, and Dr. Stacy's connecting the dots. So you went on a date with a girl that you knew came into the house, said, where my man at? Pop champagne. Was there any physical intimacy? He said no. Knowing that we did see them get all cozy in the hot tub. Mimi is shook. She's pissed. I'm finding this out again firsthand. There is no respect for me. You could have told us about it with me privately. Okay. So it's making her want to walk away. Like she feels like this is too much for her to handle. So he feels bad about what happened, and he's trying to comfort her. She's saying, don't touch me. So wondering, do you take any accountability? He said, I do. So then she praises him for being honest. I was like, okay, Dr. Stacy. But then she's also looking at Mimi by saying, you're making unhealthy choices by accepting that this man will not protect you and cover you in settings like this. It's basically saying, girl, please wake up and smell the coffee. Like, this man is not going to be the man you want him to be. He's not going to recognize his fault in things. And he's not going to not embarrass you when he is revealing what he did with another woman in front of you, in front of everybody else. Okay. So while thanking this man for his honesty, now we move on to the next phase, reflecting on what did you feel about the first date, and does that require a need of a second date? So Jaron is not going to go on a second date with Mia because he wasn't attracted to her. He didn't feel no emotions with her, so that chapter was closed. Mia felt happy that he made the decision, but girl, don't think that that's it. The fun's just begun, okay? We got the other girls that's going to come in and possibly turn his head. So we got Travis, who do want a second date with Robin because he feels like he didn't get a chance to talk. What do you mean you didn't get a chance to talk? What could y'all have talked about? It sounds to me Robin was trying to jump your bones at the table, but she was trying to be a good boy and not adding to that conversation. And she cut you off from talking about Dominique. But I guess a second date was for them to figure it out. Boy, Travis, go, go, go. Go, 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 go. Good night, good night. You just want to see if Robin is still with it. You just want to see what's up with her. Just admit you want to go out with Robin because you like Robin. Stop, stop, stop. No shocker here. Josh is going to go on a second date with Jessica. Mimi is emotional because he's going to go on ahead and go on another date with Jessica. But he has what he wants to do. And you know what? She's going to take a pause and recognize you're not the only one that got this opportunity. I got it too. So I'm going to take into the experience. So this is the week that the girls are going to go on a date with someone they had a physical or emotional connection with. Yeah, fellas, y'all going to feel what it's like when y'all girls go out with a man and y'all going to act a plumb fool. Huh. So that's the end of the session, and Mimi is preparing for her date. And, you know, she's pretty much come with a new attitude. You know what I'm saying? Josh had his fun. Now it's my turn to have my fun, okay? So here's Mimi's first date. His name is Cash. I think Cassius is his a full name, but Cash is his nickname. He is 24, and he's trying to get Mimi back. I said 24? This man is a baby. He's just a couple of years older than my sister, who just turned 21 this year. 24? Mimi, what you doing with this young nigga? No, Mimi, what are you doing with this young whippersnapper? What's going on here? And he's not in a relationship. He feels like he's been experiencing a lot of immaturity. He missed the grown woman vibe, and hopefully they can pick up where they left off. Girl, what's happening? So he knocks on the door. Josh answers it, and the first thing Josh want to say, first of all, who your mama? Your mama know you here? Of course, no. Josh feels away because that is a younger man coming to pick one of his girls, and it's like, girl, what? Of course, Josh feels away because why is this young man coming in here to pick up my girl? So I know you're looking down on him because he's young, but Josh, please, how old is Jessica? Jessica got to be a woman in her least middle 30s, and you are a man that I completely know are in your 50s, so you can miss me with that. And Josh is screaming at Mimi, saying, come get your boy, come get your boy. When Mimi walked down them steps in that beautiful green mesh dress, girl, yes. I'm talking body, 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 body. Oh, Mimi looks good, girl. No wonder why you got this man's head sprung. Look at what you serving. And then, I don't know how it happened, but Cash and Mimi were matching. And they do look good together. Yes, girl, make them mad. I know that's right. So then, Mimi tells us the history of her and Josh. No, her and Cash. She had broken up with Josh after he messed around with an ex, and she met Cash, hit it off. They've lived together for a few months, and now they're just going to pick things up where they left off. Okay, go ahead. Do you, Mimi? I'm not mad at it whatsoever. When I tell you the girl's face was shocked, but they was happy at the same time, I was loving it. You know what I'm saying? It was nice. It was interesting because while the house was in shambles when Jessica walked in, now the men are looking all crazy, watching me walk out this door with this young man. And you know what? Before they left, they made a little cocktail and everything. Josh is eating an apple, feeling all pressed and angry, and doing just a whole bunch of talking, wondering if he's old enough to drink. Mimi said, oh, he's old enough to do a lot, okay? So, don't worry about that. Like, leave me and mine alone, okay? You allow for Jessica to play in my face, so you're going to have to take it, okay? And I'm here for it. And, you know, Josh has always joked about the age gap when it comes to him and Mimi. But I feel like you didn't have an issue when you was definitely dating somebody that was younger than you. But now you want to act like Mimi is doing way too much by getting involved with this young man. Boy, bye. Bye. And then, of course, you know, Cash was doing his part, not letting it rattle him up, but he did say, all right, Grandpa, we'll see you later. Don't break a leg. I was dying. Dying, okay? You know, from this interaction right here, you can tell Mia was enjoying it and recognizing the situation. And she feels like, hey, be mad at me if you want to, but that man is fine, okay? I'm sorry he is. I'm keeping it 1,000, okay? Now, Jared didn't like the fact that she kept on talking about how that man was fine. Was he not fine? He was fine. Then he wants to be like, but if I do that to another girl, then it's an issue. First of all, sir, you give me the type that like to keep a wandering eye just to have a wandering eye. You know, Robert from the Cosby Show, that was also Tamala Jones's boyfriend on Two Could Play That Game. The way this man literally glued his eyes on every single girl that passed by definitely gave off the energy that he's a cheater. So for me, Jared, just go sit in the corner. Just go sit in the corner, okay? Because for you to feel like she's doing a lot by addressing how this man is handsome, boy, this is why she can't trust you. You know what I'm saying? Because you want to keep on throwing it in her face about, if I did this to you, you be mad. But you did do this to make her mad. You cheated on her. She couldn't trust you. So anything you do, that's going to pretty much like turn her off from anything that you could have did. So for you to feel a way about her saying how this man is fine, okay, leave it alone then. Like, men kill me with that shit. Y'all get mad when another woman talks about how a man is attractive, but we supposed to hear you constantly give out googly eyes and hard eyes to every girl that you see. Make it make sense. And then she calls it out in her confessional that Jared got a lot of pride and he is very insensitive. And I'm seeing that now. Like, you really think you are the end all be all, the best thing since sliced bread. Boy, bye. So Mia is nervous about the man she's going to be connected with because she's never seen him in person. It's only been over the phone. And wondered what the interaction is going to be like because she said that Jared has a bit of a temper. So she comes down in this little nude beige mesh outfit. And here go Jared saying, I don't like that outfit. I think I would have toned it down if I was to pick it out because you're trying to be seen. But she says, I've given you way more when we're going on our dates. And then Dominique is in the background saying, she looks beautiful. Yeah, she does, but all I can see is through her dress. And I feel like it's disrespectful. Jared, go to hell. Shut up, Shubs. Like, he is really mad about what she got on. And then with her not knowing what this man looked like, hell, I'm not sure how I should dress. She ain't trying to show too much, you know what I'm saying? What he hasn't seen. And when she said she cheated emotionally, it was something she was willing to entertain. And then with the way that Jared treated her, and when Jared was wondering who was on the phone with her or who she was talking to, she showed him the messages, didn't feel no ways about it. So that's it, that's all. Like, when you try to catch her in something, she wasn't hiding it from you. She let you know what was going on. So here we got Byron. That is the dude she was connected with on social media. He reveals they've only had phone conversations and they come from similar backgrounds. He's a musician. She loves music and faith. They last spoke about a month ago. So he's excited of seeing how she looks for the first time. Okay. So Jared opens the door and then he sees Byron. He was like, oh, wow, long time no see. Hey, I see you looking pretty good. I said, okay, that's interesting. So Mia tells us that they are friends. And it's a little uncomfortable. Girl, how did you connect to one of his friends? How did that happen? And does Jared feel some type of way about it? Like, let me know something, because that's some messy shit there, girl. How did you do that? So Jared tells us that he knew Byron when he was in high school. Turns out he was on the basketball team with his brother. And him and his brother carried a friendship that, he would just, dap up and say hi, go to each other's houses, and I guess his brother, which is always there. So you just know him off of your friendship with his brother. But do y'all have your own separate friendships? And then, Mia, I just need to know, like, however you met him, the world must be extremely small. For you to connect with someone that he knows is crazy. So he feels like it was too much for him to handle all at once. And when they leave, he still didn't like the outfit. He was still saying it was too much. I want him to sit down. So Mimi and Cash, they walk in. They look nice together. Like, they really blend, okay? She's calling him a fresher breath air. They went to an ice cream shop. And then they talked about how they met. He was trying to shoot his shot. He was nervous as hell, but he took a lot of courage to do it. And, of course, since she was older, right, having to think about being involved with someone that was that young, but he showed a lot of vulnerability. He was way more mature for his age, and he was just different. So recognizing the difference between Josh and Cash, where Josh is an overgrown ass man who can't communicate, you know what I'm saying? But you're young and you communicate very differently and way better than he does. And me and him are in alignment, you know what I'm saying? And her saying how she can spend more than 4 hours on the phone with Cash and talk about anything and everything, right? And with Josh, she's realizing I don't have that. I feel like me and him, we had that, but it has fizzled out a long time ago. So we don't know if we can get back to how we used to be. Now Dominique was getting ready for her date, and Travis is outside on the patio looking angry. Like he ain't trying to talk to her, he ain't trying to say nothing. He just making sounds like, that's cool, that's cool. Excuse me, all the way until his petty ass took his box of mints away because he didn't want her to go with fresh breath. I was like, really, Travis? And then she told him, I had to sit here and be a lady when you went out with Robin. He said, well, I'm not as big as you. Okay, I'm not on that, calm time. I'm on that petty time, right? Boy, please. So when there were moments where she could not get in touch with Travis and he did not want to be bothered with her, she, received a random DM from somebody saying, I want to take you out on a date. I said, okay, I'm not mad at it. She was lonely. So then we see her date. His name is Harvey Justice the Third. And he came out in a bathrobe. I said, where are we going? But then he decided to tell us he is the founder, creator of Daddy Robes. So he's running his own business and he's here to change Dominique's life. He said he was 32. Okay. Oh my God, them robes was killing me. But they look comfortable robes, but it's just like, why did you have to wear that robe? I mean, I understand product placement, you know what I'm saying? And he met Dominic about a year ago, and they got into a deeper level in their connection, and he wanted to see if that can still be a reality. Now, it's obviously customary for the partner to answer the door for the new day, but Travis was not by the door. Literally nobody is by the front door. Everybody is outside. So he makes himself walk inside. Like, no one's going to be there, so I open the door myself. And there he is with his jewelry, anklet on, little fuzzy slippers. And the fact that them fuzzy slippers was squeaking, I felt like that was Mr. Krabs' boots. I was like, why did he wear this damn robe? And it is awkward to see him walk into an empty house, and here come Travis. He walk up, he tries to give him a hand. Travis said, ain't on that time. Okay, listen, you picking up my girl in a robe, it's a bit weird. All right, so here's the thing. I'm gonna be respectful just as long as you be respectful. Okay, we can keep it copacetic. All right, let's go. Like, he just overseeing every single thing that Harvey is doing, and is not letting Dominique get close to him at all. Okay, because he said, you're not supposed to be here for my lady. Why are you here? So don't cross this barrier. You cannot come over here. Okay. Like, he's walking so fast from him, and then he goes outside and calls Dominique. He said, hey, your nigga in the robe is here. Yeah, he here. Travis is so fucking petty. I was dying laughing with the way that Travis acted in this scene. He was so petty. And then he was being petty even further by wondering, why is he here in the bathrobe? Are you going swimming? And then he tries to take Dominique's hand and escort her out the door. He didn't want her to have Harvey leave. He said, you can follow, you can wave at him. I got this. I'll take your date to the door. Brother, move. Like, Dominique was like hands off when you had your date with Robin. Like, she was a lady. She was poised. She kept her feelings inside. You're not keeping your feelings inside, sir. I was on the floor. This was too funny to me. And the way that he had the robe on and how he came in, he just let it rub off. Okay, he didn't feel no type of way about it. And she knows how he has a business with robes. So, hey, support your business, okay? And giving him kudos about how he handled that situation. And she said she likes Harvey. There was a spark between them, and she calls him a sweetheart. I said, okay, I see. Oh my God, Travis is talking his shit by saying, if anyone gonna come and talk to my girl, then I gotta fight for what's mine. Okay, I got a problem with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, Travis. You really got a problem with that? Because how are you not keeping it consistent with talking to her? You disappear at a time, so how do you protect what's yours? Okay, you allow for time to go by where she can connect with another man. That's what you did do. So Mia is on her date with Byron. They go to a live bar and they play some music to create this nice romantic vibe. I'm feeling it, right? I'm feeling the connection, feeling the conversation, because They called their connection special because she was giving him updates about where they were in their relationship, and she could lean on him and tell him what was missing. There's been some infidelity. He said, I'm sorry. Yeah. He wants to provide a safe space for her, right? So as far as wanting to have a safe space in a relationship, she is currently open into wanting to be in that real type of safe space with a new person. And it could be him, right? But then she might have been speaking too much. The wine probably got her going. And she says, you giving me a buzz as well. It seems like a really, really good date. Okay, the romantic vibes, I'm sensing them. Then he gets to the piano and he decides to reveal a song that he wrote for her. He wrote it at the time that when he was there for her while she was going through her problems, and that's all he wants to do is be a confidant. And the song was beautiful. He has a great voice. She gets emotional, and she said, I haven't felt like this in a long time. And she wished that Jaren would treat her like this. You know, he is pouring his heart out to her and basically saying, girl, choose me, okay? And it was a beautiful song. She said, I do like him. And she appreciates him, and now her mind's all confused because confiding him with things she's been dealing with in her relationship, they connected on that emotional level. So it's kind of hard for her to break away from that. I don't know, Jaren, you might be in trouble for the fact that all he did was sing a song and tickle the ivories, got this girl all over the place. Woo. So then we got Mimi. She's back from her date with Cash. He is now in the house again, making a drink. Josh is upset, and he's doing a lot. And you know, all of the fellas are in the kitchen just making comments about Cash, right? About him being young and stuff, and then asking him where did he take her out. He said, I took her for some ice cream, you know? And they think that that's kid stuff. Oh, you went for some ice cream? Did you get some candy too? I'm just like, what the hell? Going out on a date is a date. Where you go is a date. And if they went out for ice cream, that is an ice cream date. Like, why y'all trying to make it seem as if it's such a young thing to do? No, it's what a date requires. You going out, getting something to eat, doing something. Like, Josh, go away from me with this. And Mimi was like, you know what? You ain't got to disrespect nobody. Okay, let's not do that. Then Jaren want to say in the confessional that Mimi intensified the situation by flaunting Cash in front of Josh. Well, let's not get it twisted though, Jaren. Because what Josh did was 10 times worse than what she's doing right now. And if she wants to be petty, let her be petty, okay? Get away. Shoot, shoot, shoot. And you know what? Cash was being a very much of the adult in this situation because he wanted to go back and forth with Josh, but he didn't want to because all he could do was think about old jokes, right? But he didn't want to offend Mimi because she is in fact older. So I'm just going to take the L, okay? But then I think he muttered something next to me by saying, you know, I fuck him better, right? No. He said, you know, I fuck better than him, right? I think that's what he said. Either I know I fuck you better or I know I fuck better than him. That's what he said. And me was like, first of all, wait a minute. I did not expect for him to say that. But you know what? That is some dick squeaking contest that some men like to do. But hey, I bet he probably do put Mimi through the mattress way more than what Josh is doing. I would say so. But she's just recognizing that they carry that same energy as they did when they were dating before. Like the chemistry is never ceasing. We're still in that same space like we were before. And, you know, Warner might am in the wrong situation and they did leave something on the table that could have been unresolved. And he learned a lot about last year, how you're growing every day. You learn more about yourself. And she's always looking at the difference between Josh and Cash. And the age is not the factor. It's how the maturity level is different. Cash carries more maturity than Josh, right? How he's goal oriented and that attracted her to him. And you keep the same energy. And here go Josh, ruining the moment once again, trying to put his arm around her like, you my girl. But she was like, boy, move, don't touch me. So then she was saying, you lost that privilege when you want to, you know, go and get in the hot tub. He was like, oh, so that's what we on? You want to be single? Well, it sounds like you want to be single. So we're not together? No, we're pretty much not together. We have the ability to date who we want to date, and that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take into the experience, right? And I don't have to answer to you. Like, that's pretty much it. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to act like you can still carry possession over me when you didn't even protect me, right? And I'm not going to tolerate is disrespect, okay? So he tried to walk away and throw it out there that you want to act like you 20, but you not 20. You're 50 just like me. She said, I'm not 50. All right, have fun, Granny. And that was the end of the episode. Like, oh my God. Josh is so petty and he is so jealous. And I think he knows he really can't do better than Mimi. I don't even know how he can get Jessica, in my opinion. But the second episode was good, was funny as hell. And I cannot wait until the next episode, because now there's going to be individual therapy with the couple. So the couples are going to have their therapy session with Dr. Stacy, and they're going to bring that potential third person in the therapy session with them. I said, what? Are you for real right now? Oh, that's going to be a whole mess. And I cannot wait, y'all. I cannot wait. But y'all, that is it. That is all I have. Y'all, please stay tuned for the next video, and I'm going to see you guys later. Bye.